Hello YouTube, we got VGH once again with another deck profile video and some games for you. We've cooked up Ceruledge EX. Honestly, I did not think that when Surging Sparks came out that Ceruledge was going to be the big deck, but I've seen this thing literally everywhere. Where it comes down to my locals, I've seen too many of these. Every online event has like one of the top 3 decks is Ceruledge. On ladder, it's everywhere. So it would be good to know what the deck runs, how it works, and how to play around it. Now, I have tried basic Ceruledge, which is just the fire build that doesn't run the Palkia. I've tried this build. I've tried a few other options in this deck as well. But this one is kind of the more balanced structure I have found. The videos that you're going to see are my first couple of playthroughs with the deck before I really realized what it did. And even as a bumbling fool with a baby deck that I've never used, I was still able to get those wins. That's how like brain dead it is once you realize what you have to do. I like this variant because since you run into other Ceruledges so often, Palkia honestly just becomes an out to knock out your opponent's Ceruledge another way. But it also gives you the ability of Star Portal from Palkia VSTAR in order to get energies onto Greninja, and also use Greninja in order to attack, eliminating early game threats if your opponent's Pokemon do not evolve into high HP Pokemon. The reason we run double Squawkabilly is for obvious reasons. The entire deck is incredibly turbo. The Pokemon lineup is pretty simple with the Charcadet, Ceruledge, Palkia V, VSTAR, Radiant Greninja, Fezandipiti, and Squawkabilly, all good, strong Pokemon that work well together in a turbo stance. Ceruledge EX has its first attack, which is the only attack you're ever going to be really using unless you're in the mirror. Ceruledge uses a 1 fire energy attack that does 20 damage times the amount of energy in your discard pile. Hence why we're running 19 energies. And the reason we have it so turbo is to throw away a boatload of those energies. We have 4 Earthen Vessels to get more energies out of the deck. We have 4 Night Stretchers, since we're going to be throwing away a boatload of cards from our hand as quickly as possible. Sometimes we need those cards back, whether it be 1 fire energy, whether it be a Ceruledge, or a Fezandipiti that gets knocked out. Bringing them back with Night Stretcher is a key essential component to the deck. Nest Ball helps us get those early game Pokemon like Greninja or Charcadet, or even Palkia just out of the deck, or Squawkabilly. Like, those things can come out very, very early. We also run our ace spec as the Blender Bottle. That's what I've called it. The Brilliant Blender allows you to discard 5 cards from your deck. And it's literally only in there to throw away more energy. Just so that way you can get rid of it, and now your Ceruledge's attack does 100 more damage. It's that brain dead, where all you have to do is throw everything away as quickly as possible, and then hit them really, really hard. Like, PokéStop is never PokéStop, our one stadium, is never a bad card to use, even if your opponent throws it, because when you throw things out, it's just giving you more value. Bosses, Carmine, and Research are all just kind of in there as more discard fodder. You don't really need that many of them because of how fast you go through your deck. Usually just one of them on a turn is enough, and you're usually winning very, very quickly. The game is usually over within the first couple of turns, so 1 Research a turn, a Carmine a turn, and the game will be good as gold for you. Let's get into some games, and let me show you how even a bumbling fool who's only looked at the deck and didn't even actually playtest it still wins games. Let's get into it. Alright, and a quick reminder, these are actually streamed matches. You guys can see the guys running around down there. Those are my followers who are part of the Twitch channel. So if you guys want to come on by to the Twitch channel and get one of these little guys to run around, you guys may see yourselves in some of our future videos. Also, against some of our opponents as well, we do actually do streamer versus viewer during the streams. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. You guys can find my link for Twitch below in the description. So, our very first match, funny enough, we were up against Regidrago. I think this game ended rather quickly too, because I think I just had an immediate turn 1 out. But my opponent didn't really pop off, and I suppose the cards that he got in his hand were not good enough for Squawkabilly to just kind of discard. So, yeah, we're just looking for things at this point. I assumed that the idea was to just, you know, Blender Bottle, get rid of energies, get Squawkabilly, rather than looking for better things. Like, And I was just kind of fumbling some cards, looking for stuff to do. My hand was not all that fantastic, but we were able to use Squawkabilly and Research in one turn, going through both 6 new cards from Squawk and 7 new cards from Research. And we used Blender Bottle to get rid of 5. We used Earthen Vessel to get rid of another one. We got immediate discards from both the Squawkabilly and the Juniper, or the Research, so we're able to get even more energies into the discard pile. Realistically, we burned through so much of our deck in just a singular turn. And now I'm just trying to set up more of, like, what can I do in case he's able to actually knock out the Charcadet on turn 1. And then we poke him for 20 damage. It was worth it. So, we do... I could have also... Like, my opponent obviously did not get anywhere here, so... We have this, and we're already hitting 270. We just find our answer and take a win. It's just that easy. Now, obviously, that wasn't like a full-on game with Regidrago, but we were able to point out that it can hit to 270 that fast. We only took 2 turns, and that was the whole game. Obviously, once they lose Regidrago, then there's no real coming back from it. Alright, so on our second game... By the way, we're running this in 2.5 times speed, so this is much, much faster. Probably could have done it in 2, but it's fine. We hit Pikachu! Which is partially the reason we run 2 Canceling Colognes. Pikachu, Mimikyu, Cornerstone Mask, Ogerpon. All of these new Pokemon that have the ability to stop you from hitting them really, really hard become a real pain in the neck. So we just don't let them do that. We also were setting up a little poorly on this. We discard, we just get all of our water energies to the discard pile. Carmine for 5, get basically nowhere, discard more cards. Look for Palkia, because we have this wonderful thing that allows us to get Palkia VSTAR back with the Night Stretchers. We also have Nest Ball for another Charcadet, another Earthen Vessel, get more energies. Pretty sure we got rid of all of our water energies in one move. And I'm pretty sure we also got rid of most of the fire energies. So I think there was only like 3 left in the deck on this point. We have 4 of them in our hand. So, like... We run 13. Like, 6 of them are gone. 6 water energies are gone. Like, we're already doing big, big damage. And we don't mind. Miraidon and Pikachu, my opinion, mid-deck, not that great. I know that it does really, really well in tournaments and stuff, but I personally just don't like it. Because you rely on that card too much. Electric Generator, if you whiff, now suddenly, what is he gonna do? Like... He got 1 energy on Raikou. Well, do you have another? Are you able to retreat Pikachu? Both of those answered no. You don't get to attack for a turn. Like, he could have been in a much better position if he was able to punch me in the face. But he was not. So, you know, now he has to try and pull something. Raikou's for a Seal Stone. Hits him that Arvin. Looks for more stuff. Bravery Charm, whatever. But the, you know... Another generator, maybe this time. And he whiffed. Yep. That's just how it works. You're like, that's why I don't like that deck. The entire deck revolves around, did I hit generator? And if I did, I win. If I don't, well, now what? Well, simple. I do Canceling Cologne, Ceruledge goes big damage bonk, and then suddenly Pikachu explodes. And now I'm ahead on the prize trade, and I need 1 Pokemon card in order to do anything in the matchup. We also have Boss's Orders in our hand now, so if he puts up something for like a defensive play, we just go Bosses knock out Squawk, Bosses knock out Miraidon, Bosses knock out Raikou. Because we're already at the point of doing 290 damage. 2 turns. And we put up 290 damage with 1 energy. That's just how strong Ceruledge is. We were going to give our opponent a knockout here. We don't mind losing Squawkabilly. We don't care. The rest of these cards are all useful. If he knocks out Squawkabilly, I can't use Squawkabilly's. I mean, if he knocks out Fezandipiti, I can't use Fezandipiti's effect. I don't want to lose Charcadet or Ceruledge, because then I have to try and figure out how to get them back. Palkia, obviously, Palkia VSTAR is still a thing. And Radiant Greninja has been desperately saving me every single turn with drawing more cards. So I think we're on turn 3 or 4, on my turn 3 or 4. And we're just setting everything up. Me making the decision of, like, what can I do here? Just went to go get a second Ceruledge because he's going to need to take out 2 of them to win the game, realistically. So, just gonna get everything else out, look at our deck, down to like 6 cards in 3 turns, and, yeah, well, what do? We hit him for 300 damage. Like, we're already at the 300 damage marker. We have 2 Ceruledges with 1 energy. We're knocking everything out. Our boss's orders will guarantee we hit a 2-prizer. And that's literally all she wrote, because there's no way you take 4 prizes against us. We already can set up checkmate boards. That's just how much damage we're able to do so easily just by setting up 2 Ceruledge with 1 energy each. It's just that easy. Obviously, this deck does have certain drawbacks, because if you're up against like a water deck or something that like with Radiant Greninja, you don't really protect the bench at all. So something that can hit multiple things quickly, like Radiant Greninja, maybe with Chenpao, usually does have like a way of getting through and kind of clearing your board state. Things that don't get one, like if you can't get enough energy in the discard pile, maybe you don't find Brilliant Blender that quickly, and you can't put up enough damage, you're trying to take 1 or 2 prizes every single turn, so that way you're able to clear things out as quickly as possible. So Earthen Vessel for 2 water energy, so we can just discard them. Pretty solid. Getting our normal board state with 2 Charcadet, Squawkabilly, Fezandipiti. We're just trying to get things out there. That was an awesome mill. We milled a Pokemon and 2 item cards. Squawkabilly, discard more, and then we draw more, and then we use Greninja, discard another energy, draw more. We have enough water energies now that Palkia becomes playable. And we have this board state on turn 1. Like, pretty good. No Blender Bottle, though. And we still were able to get, like, a lot of cards into discard. Our opponent is doing some normal Gimme Ghoul, Ghouldango shenanigans. Weird electric energy. I wonder why he would even... I think I made a joke. Like, imagine he continuous tumbles into 4 heads right here. And that would be actually hilarious. Squawkabilly for more. Squawk and Seize. He does put down the Pokemon League headquarters, which I find is really funny because it doesn't really do anything. Besides make Radiant Greninja, I guess, attack for 1 more, because that's the only other attacker really in the deck. We're not really going to use Fezandipiti or Squawkabilly for much of anything. I think I was looking for a bunch of energies here, because I think I do make the mistake here where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just set it up and then not attack. Because I forgot about Pokemon League headquarters when I was looking at chat. But I still fumbled, and I still am doing just fine. Like... Ooh, so that probably would have been Energy Search Pro. It must have been prized this game. Because when you Arvin, you normally search for Energy Switch Pro. No Steel Energy, and he just retreated. So he has no Steel Energies, no Energy Search Pro. He's evolving, but he didn't get an attack off, so... Cool, but he just evolved all of his Pokemon into weaknesses of my other guy. So, energies. Go. I'm not going to try an attack here, right? No, I didn't do that. I retreat and I punch him in the face and he just explodes, right? Yes. 300 damage. We're only doing 150 because we didn't get Blender Bottle, but also he's weak to fire. Which, again, Ghouldango is getting value, and, like, you guys have seen my Ghouldango video. It got 2nd place in one of the first Surging Sparks tournaments because Energy Surge Pro is just a thing. Which you guys just saw. It gets you 8 cards out of your deck in, like, the best format. You have 1 of each energy, and you get 1 of all those energies to your hand, and now you have 8 energies in your hand. You can... 1 card searching 8 going positive 7 overall is crazy. I don't think there's a much better card. If at best, you're going to go neutral because of research. If you got 0 cards in your hand, you play research, you can draw 7. So you go plus... No, it's still technically plus 6 because you're losing the research. But I don't know how you go better than plus 8 with this deck. Ghouldango, good. So having a Ceruledge, which is a direct counter to it on the board, is fantastic. Knowing certain matchups, like if he has Scythe, like Scizor right there, there is the Scyther right there, which there is the Scizor, which does... I need to get more energy into this card pile, which is why I put that up there, so I can just do all of this. We did have Night Stretcher, got the evolution back, can still flip script, we can still retreat for 1, making it just that way we can do more. Nest Ball for more space, Blender Bottle to get rid of more cards we don't need out of the deck, since Canceling Cologne won't do anything. We're going to get rid of it so we don't draw into it. And that way we can discard and still draw more playable cards. Looking for another Ceruledge, because obviously I just need to get a 3rd. We do have Night Stretcher now, so we're good. Just kidding. I just wanted to look for the next card. More energies. We got every energy out of our deck, and we are good to swing for 620 damage, the reverse of 260, which is what Goldango has in HP. With that Carmine play, we did get both Boss's Orders in our hand, and we have like no cards left in our deck. Doing so makes it so that way late game we're not really that Iono weak. My opponent bosses in Fezandipiti because damage. The Scizor does 50 damage plus 10 times the amount of Pokemon on your opponent's board that has a ability. We have 4 Pokemon on our board that has an ability, so 1 energy does hit 210 right now and can knock out Fezandipiti. But because he didn't use like an Iono to, you know... Oh, he does use an Iono. Damn. Okay, put words in my mouth. Doesn't matter. We still got Ceruledge. I just need a Fire Energy. And a Boss's Orders. I think I needed multiple things to win this. Gosh, what did I do here? I had like no cards left, so what am I gonna... How do I counter this? Let's find out. Let's put up the last Greninja because we have a 1 energy retreat we can still use. Oh, look at that. We got a Ceruledge and an Earthen Vessel to get the energies out of the deck. Checking to see what else I have. Oh, look. We got it. I need a Boss's Orders to win this, right? So, discard. Oh, look. Boss's Orders. Deck comes clutch. Deck comes super clutch. Basically had to get it in that order where we needed a Ceruledge, the Earthen Vessel to get the energies, and a Boss's Orders. And it just worked. Ceruledge is very, very strong. Playing around it is kind of difficult. But playing the deck, it feels very, very strong. On that night, we only did a little bit of Ceruledge play. I think we played 4 matches, and I think we only lost 1 just due to a dead hand where I really couldn't do anything. The deck does do better going first because you can do all of that setup with Squawkabilly, with Carmine, with all of your basic Pokemon for you to get all those Charcadets down with Buddy Buddy Poffin or other cards like that. You can go through still like 20 out of your 60 card deck very, very quickly. Just on turn 1. If you go second, you can still use things like Research, and you can still use things like, you know, Squawkabilly and finding certain objects like a little bit easier, but that's why we run 3 Carmine, because that way we can go first or second. But first definitely is what you want to do with Ceruledge. And if you get ahead in the prize trade, you can very, very easily set up a checkmate board, so you really don't have to finish most games. A lot of people just concede out. Personally, I really like the Ceruledge deck. I think it's very easy to pick up because once you figure out what the standard idea of how to play the matchups are, it becomes a lot easier to play the deck, and it's very simple mindset. Discard energy, punch really, really hard. Anyway, we've got a special video coming up next, which should come out in a couple of days. I really hope you guys take a look at it. I will see you guys in the next one. Good night.